Hi, folks. Nick Tockert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, and before we get into it, we've got to pay our bills, so to speak. First of all, the Historical Fencing Guild is made possible by my beautiful, amazing, talented Patreon members who are the light in my online life. Yes, folks, outside of my family, I think you guys love me more than anybody else, and I am here for it, so thank you. If you want to join their most auspicious ranks, go to www.patreon.com/thehistoricalfencingguild. Look for the white boot. That's me. It is also made possible by, and I almost got my thing right. One of these days I'll do it right. The Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, both available through Amazon at www.amazon.com/author/Nicholas Dockert. That's me. You'll also find games there, like the Big Zombie Robots Core Rulebook. And if more comic book-based things, go to my dear friend Luke Stone. And go to lukestonestudios.com, where you can find Hybrid, the Sons of Gods. It's a wonderful comic book and a role-playing game that I made, so it's even better. Wink, wink. I'm kidding. Luke knows I love what I'm doing. Alrighty. 2 watchers, and we've already got somebody in the house. That being our dear friend, Belated Thesis. Hey, Thesis, great to see you on this, at least for us, utterly cold and kind of miserable, misty, rainy sort of day. Yes, I've got a lot to talk about today. This was one of those where I wasn't feeling it coming in. It's not always easy to do what we do as broadcasters. And it's not always easy to do what we do as martial artists and instructors. And instead of doing the whole, well, we'll bury that down and throw it away, I thought, hey, let's open up talking about that. So I really want to talk about what's called, Happy Renaissance Fair Eve. Are you going to have your booth there? You know, the people are asking. Everybody wants to know. I'd love to see you really be able to get your business going, Thesis. But yeah, and so we'll talk about whatever comes up in the chat first and foremost. Then we'll talk about imposter syndrome in the martial arts, because for those of us who come especially from Western martial arts backgrounds, it's a little different because we can't simply cite, hey, I'm a certified black belt in whatever, which I am not. I don't want anybody miscalculating that. But, it's very difficult to ascertain that. And as a student, it's very difficult for somebody to ascertain the quality and the nature of whomever they're training with. So I think that's important to talk about. And we haven't visited that in a while. And like I said, I have a lot rattling down in the old noggin from my side of the world. And it reminded me of something that happened a long, long time ago. And I think that might have merit. But before I get into that, I want to make sure that looks like we've got a quiet chat this evening. I'm not sure if folks are just busy because of the weather change, which is fine. I certainly don't hold it against anyone. Or if they're, here. So if you are here, please hop in the chat, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't. Oh, okay. Whoops. There we go. Maybe. There we are. Sadly, the window for booths closed, but I'm going to try and hand out business cards. It's certainly a good start. Talk to the event organizers and plan it for next year, and then maybe you'll be able to really hit the ball rolling because you can build up to it and make sure you have the gear in order, you have enough stock. Because I've seen what you and Foxy do, and I think you guys have a real good product. Get that out there, okay? And it's interesting we're talking about that because imposter syndrome hits really hard for those of us who are analytical and of certain mentalities. And as my dear friend Brian K. Morris would say, imposter syndrome only affects people who have accomplished something, but it also never goes away. So we need to talk about what that means. Now, before I get into it, I am using a term I should explain. Imposter syndrome is the sensation where you feel what you are doing or where you have gotten, you feel like maybe you're secretly not that good, or you aren't worth, somehow you're not worthy, in a very Thor feeling sensation. Maybe you're just not worthy to have whatever you're getting, and certainly not to ask for more. Many artists run through this when it comes time to charge for their work, or creators charge for their hourly stuff, things like that. I, for one, have had to fight to get to the place where I can say I don't do game development for free anymore. Um, I need to get something out of it, and that's because I've been doing this for a while, and uh, that is part of the assigned value. With what I do with instruction, it's very different because I'm not solely looking out. Money is good, but it's about doing this as a service, and the money is what lets me continue. Now, I still believe in not charging to give training at my discretion. If somebody wanted me to come to them, then I would again kick up charge, because that's reasonable. Gas prices are nightmarish. But what does that have to do, with being a sword master? Um I used to have a very, 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 very hopping set of practices. Folks would come down weekly like clockwork, some always late, some early, etc. And they would do so, and we would have practice, and I could count on a full house every week. And then one week, and I would do the same thing. I'd go out, I'd set everything up, bring out all the gear, uh, you know, put up the lights, get the chairs, tables. There's always a lot of work for setting up for a practice that people don't talk about. And then I'd do my warm up drills, and I'd wait for somebody to arrive. And it happened one time that all the people just didn't show. They didn't show as one, and no, I guess everybody thought somebody else had let me know that they weren't going to make it, but nobody did. And I remember was back at our old house, uh, in a place called South Haven, Indiana, and someone who at the time was a dear friend uh, showed up about an hour into practice and was looking for me, I guess. And she got sent out to the backyard, and I was out in the backyard drilling. And she asked me, there's no one here. What are you doing? I'm like, I still have to do my physical stuff. And all the lights were on, the chairs were out. Yeah, I'm soaked to the skin, but I'm still drilling. And at that time, I was healthy enough I could do things like that. This was many, many years ago. But so does this? I said, yeah, this is what happens when no one shows up. And it's scary because the last 2 years I've had to back out of a lot of things for my physical recovery. Folks who've been wondering, Booby the Squeezy Square, still here, still in use. But I'm setting up for the first practice at the end of the month. Details have gone out to the locals, and I'm looking at between now and then expending for me, which is a fairly large amount of money to upgrade the facilities. I want to what I want bare minimum is landscape fabric down, and I want wood chips to make it a little more level and a little safer. And that doesn't sound like it would be a lot, but over a large area, that actually can be quite an outlay. And I've been saving towards this. My Patreon members know this, and I optimally want to get wood and build a proper frame and not just the classic plastic rope holders, and really kind of upgrade both the whole experience. Maybe get a table, some chairs, get things really that next step nicer that I feel it should be, and possibly address some of the lighting. So I put out the first of the month, I think, maybe second, that local guys, this is the practice date. Please contact me if you are going to be able to make it. And it's been seen by a lot of them. And it hit that I have yet to receive response, one way or the other. Now, rationally, I moved 100 plus miles from where I used to be. It's about a 2-hour drive. Gas prices are insane. Several of my friends have real world issues. Stephanie, you guys know Stephanie, the little girl with the axe. She had a baby. Persephone was born a few days ago. This is wonderful, but of course that means she's kind of off the roster. Trey and Joey are working in construction, so I may once again be setting up for a practice and not have anybody knock at the door. And I do see the comments. I'm going to get to you guys in a sec. Please don't think I'm neglecting you. But that's terrifying, because it's very easy for me, especially coming back from a condition where about a year and a half ago, I was walking on 2 crutches, and I had braces up to my arms, and I had no sensation functionally. I couldn't hold anything. I couldn't hold a normal sized fork. I couldn't hold a pen. I couldn't do fine motor things at all. And I've worked very, 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 very hard and changed my diet and stuff. And while my weight's fluctuated, I can do things. For the first time in 20 years, I'm not wearing a brace. But it does weigh is what I'm doing still valued? Is it still important? And I really had to think about that. And I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it quite a bit, and especially today while I've been going out about dealing with the mundanities that one deals with. And when I wasn't working on my commission stuff. It's heavy. It's heavy. And I prefer people to know when I'm going through stuff like that, because yes, it makes me vulnerable, but I'd rather be vulnerable and honest than veil myself in, hi, I'm always happy, always perfect, haha. Because I could do that to you, but that would make it, it would be insincere. And I will be many things, but I try not to be insincere. So we're working through that. And what I came to the conclusion is, one, I know I have one local student. At least has said he wants to. I'm going to make that happen. 2, the setup I want to do could possibly give me better camera angles and facilities to shoot sparring videos. And once I get him trained up enough that it's safe and, viable, we'll be able to we'll be able to do more. I can demonstrate some more complex things. I really want to start working with more advanced combinations and parries, and it may be time that I have to get the rest of the ball rolling for the purpose of looking to see if anybody else needs my services or is interested. And this process will allow me to upgrade here, because one thing I have to say is my digital guild has been incredibly supportive of me, and I am grateful to you guys, not just for your financial contributions, which have been at points in this last few years been a lifesaver, because stuff got tight for everybody, but knowing that I'm still doing good, knowing that what's in my head, even if my hands or my body isn't allowing me to do what I used to do, still carries value is crucial. Because if I don't remember that, and I've been trained to forget that, uh, it would be it would be tempting to stop, and I don't want to, because if I can help one person, you know, it matters. The weather's being a little bad, and my joints are swelling, so you may see some odd finger gestures as I work assorted things through. It's going to happen. I may stutter more. That'll happen too. But none of that's bad because it's real. So, well, when you are looking and going, I don't know if I can do this as a student. I've been there. In fact, I've told the story many times, but the very very short version of the white boot that I use as my logo, he said, not burgling through it, is a constant reminder of what it feels like to be in that state of not knowing what you're doing and feeling alone and feeling very uneasy and never wanting to forget that, so that I can try to help folks. If your instructor cares, they're either there still, or it's part of them. It's part of the path that they've walked. And it's a gate I have to walk through time and time again. So I want you to understand, if you feel uneasy about seeking training because you have physical limitations, or you're inexperienced, or you're poor, or whatever, one, folks, you're not alone in that journey. And the other thing we got to talk about in the real world kind of moment is the economy has made what we do more challenging. And that's important that you understand that, because I'm trying to find ways to make it easier for the poorest among us to be able to do what we do. And I love it. So I hope that still has importance. I hope it's still a quality mission, as silly as it is. And I'm going to go through the comments because they've just gotten a little relevant and then very amusing. And I think we all could use amusing. It got a little serious. Funny thing about it, this is Thesis talking to you, because I know some people like to listen while they're doing other things. Funny thing about imposter syndrome is it only seems to strike people who actually have talent in the areas they're worried about. And I have pointed that out to so many people, to the point where I get the karmic debt of, hey, Nick, remember what you said? Yes, that applies to you too. Oh, no. I'm all about building people up and helping them level up, but I get really squirrely when it comes to admitting that I've leveled up, or that, there's any quality there. So I totally get that. And thank you for the reminder. Foxy says, hi, Foxy. I'm, glad you made it in here. You're a ray of sunshine. You know that. Bounce your way on in. I said that. And yeah, I'm going to accept that. Okay. Anyway, don't forget to like and all that. Yeah, that's right, folks. If you think anything I am saying has any either interest, entertainment, or value, please hit the like, so that the mighty YouTube algorithm acknowledges that, hey, this video might have merit, and that, it deserves to be shared around through the algorithmic sorcery. Also, be sure to share it around, because I don't have a publicist. I don't have the funds to pay to advertise this. So, because I want to put that money towards helping people. So if, folks, you really enjoy this, and this is working for you, share it around. Subscribe and ring that bell so that you get everything I post on this channel, because hopefully we're going to finally have that weather break, and I've been working hard on my hands enough that hopefully I can operate light grade power tools and do some things that need to be done around here, such as modifying some of the trainers to be more Nick current compatible, and modifying the area. So there's a lot going on, and you guys get to help. Kitty joins us. The friendly neighborhood Kitty is here. You know, I adore people named Kitty. I don't go, you don't know this, but it's very rare for me to have a friend circle for any length of time where a kitty doesn't seem to pop up. And you're always the most exciting, interesting people. So I am delighted that that is a sign of progress. To me, having a kitty pop up is an omen that I'm on the right path, or at least where I'm supposed to be. Foxy is Pounce's kitty. Foxy says Pounce is the kitty. Um, y'all just enjoy that. Enjoy that. Take a moment. Savor the mental processes that are just percolating in your noggins. This is delightful. Kitty says, I've started a new martial journey this week. All right, Kitty. Now you have my attention. I've talked a little bit about my imposter syndrome, and we all know it's important. That's kind of a downer. What have you got that you've started? I am excited. Everyone here is excited. We want to know what you're doing. Because one, if I can help or we can help in the comments, we're all for it. And if not, we'll just be like, yeah. Because we need to build each other up. Now, so we have that going. Let me see about doing mental image screenshot of the pouts. I can only imagine thesis, but I'm trying not to out of respect. I was thinking about you earlier, and I was trying to find the proper Chinese word for wolf. And I laughed because it was very close to at least one of your other handles, and I'm not going to dox one of your other handles here. But just with the themes of the people in your life of Kitty and Foxy, Wolf just seems so your energy at this point. I find it delightful. But I'm an old anthro artist. You know, I don't do it a lot anymore, but and I run with some pretty interesting artists of that bend. So it's kind of delightful seeing the real life breakdown of that mojo. And I I'm here for that, folks. I'm absolutely here for that. Now, while I wait for one of the awesome, let me make sure. Okay, yes. I'm going to lay money that she's saying he's our big bad wolfie, and I bet he is. Uh Thesis very much reminds me of the Blutbaden from Grimm. That's high praise coming from me, as many of my family have certain Blutbaden traits. So I think it is wonderful. Oh, okay. You start training with a halati. It's a double. I'm actually familiar with that. Let me see. Those I can't write on. Those I can't write on. Let's try this. Still there. That one's that. Where did my MS Paint is hiding from me, and I am not happy with that. Okay. Ah, it's close to the yes. Let me just do this and do this. We're going to see if I can do a quick drawing of the tool that we are talking about. And while I said that, yes, it's also close to the Chinese name for dragon. Lang? Long. I think that means long. I'm horrible with the enunciation lettering. But is Chinese for wolf and I hope you guys can hear me. I'm hijacked from my phone. So if someone could comment in the comments that you can hear and see me, that would be absolutely. I apologize for the error, and I am badly in need of a prop. But well, I can't check that here. Oh, Lord in heaven. Well, folks, we're gonna try to keep this going, and like I said, I'm sorry about the shakiness. I have actually some holders. They're just not here because did not grab them in. Okay, welcome back. Awesome. Hi. Well, stuff got a little real here as a lightning appears to have struck without thunder and affected one of our transformer uh, things, which also affected the power to the cell phone tower behind the house, meaning we lost power and we lost electricity. We are okay. Thank you so much. Let me see. As long as you're okay. Cool. I am now running my Goofy show entirely through my rather limited cell phone cam ability. Can we have that was totally not stress gum while I was working on that. But folks, that's okay. I'm gonna scroll back up through the comments. Take your time. Blarg. Let's see. In fact, I'm PJ Party stream. Glad you guys are getting it. Sorry, I'm trying not to flash too much of my background because I don't want to get in trouble for I got a copyright threat thing for a photo of a painting that was of my wife's family and my wife when she was a baby from YouTube. So I've learned I have to be very careful because there are people who watch my channel with ill intent. Finishing touches on my costume. Cool. Guys, I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope you get to eat something that's delightfully inappropriate. I hope the scenery is nice in all formats, the weather is perfect, and that maybe you find some sharp, shiny goodness. Cool. So and great to have Ryan Coker in yeah. Whew, that kind of derailed. Good thing we aren't having any guests tonight. Yeah. It's a good night for things to go completely, totally wrong. I'm afraid to turn too much because if I do, you guys will see that my study is an absolute pit, and I'm embarrassed by that. But we're going to make stuff work. I mean, the street light came back, so that's a good thing. I'm watching for the internet to try to internet, but this also tells me that I am fully capable of running my happy show. Well, let's see. Can I do this? Hey, that sure looks like we're a lot closer to being up and running through my goofball phone. So while accidental, this will be a great method for me just to be able to live stream probably some sparring matches later, if that's something you guys are interested in. Not later tonight, obviously. I would not have people sword fighting with metal objects in a storm that's not supposed to have lightning, but apparently, I mean, either that or somebody slammed right into something. It is, where I live in the middle of, well, nothing right now. It would be cornfields, but there's nothing up this time of year. All right. Well, let's see. I'm planning on taking lots of pictures since it's the first fair in our town and the first you've ever been to. Oh, you will have so much fun. A good run fair has great music, decent food, and some truly delightfully bizarre um, merchants, vendors. I am sorry, I'm not on I'm not even on like 4G. I'm only getting LTE because the local tower got taken out by whatever took out my internet. Because my internet through the company and my cell service are roughly the same. Yeah, only a couple parts up top of the silo. Therefore, well, things get a little good. Oh, hey, thank you, thank you. Um, once I am, once my local internet is back, it may be worth it to stream some more crafty stuff that wouldn't be viable or nice to do in my office, especially once I get it all cleaned up. So yes, there will here when things are wrong, and I'm carefully monitoring, waiting to see uh, if the internet is going to pop back up. If it doesn't, I might call the show a little early. I'm not sure. We've got good people in the chat. We'll figure things out. If you're going to first Ren Fair, let's talk about that. I've been to quite a few. Be polite, always. The people who will cause the most trouble are usually the least dressed for the fair. So, like, what you do is, if you're worried about, any hassle, watch out for the normies. They're more likely to get drunk and be stupid. If I wasn't planning on wearing my Mandarin robes, I would put on a tux, take my sword cane, and go as a kingsman. That's delightful too. That is absolutely delightful too. And like I said, I'm sorry for the shaky camera angles. I don't currently have a cell phone bracket device in here, so we are making do with a little bit of elbow grease, and I'm for that. People will tell you that anything you buy at a Ren Fair probably could be bought less expensive online. Don't do that. Buy stuff at the Ren Fair. Pay a little extra if it's, not obscene, because you're supporting the people who go there. And Ren Fairs are made possible a lot by the vendors. So you really want to support those good folks. It's also a wonderful opportunity for you to find out if there are any local LARP groups or like HEMA groups. You might have an SCA branch in your area. I mean, one thing you have to learn about like the SCA branches is they do tend to vary quite a bit between groups. I found that to be true. I mean, there's overlaying factors, so don't ride that. Don't worry about that too far. No stream for you complaining. Oh, what did I do? Let's see if I can get that to come up. There we go. What did I do to anger Thor? To the best of my knowledge, I have not lately angered any Norse deities. I may have peeved mildly Loki at one point, but that's only because the person I was talking to was bouncing between claiming to be a devout follower of the Egyptian goddess Bast and the Norse god Loki, and they kind of are at loggerheads for a lot of philosophy. So I kind of leaned her into, you might want to think about what you're doing and who you're talking to, because folks can only help you through their domain, if that's your jam. But yeah, Thor should have a beef with me. That's probably why my house didn't get fried, which is nice. It's nice. Near misses make you feel good about being alive. Regular internet is still not at all online. So I'm still stuck with the improvised. But you know what? I adapt. I never give up. Keep charging the enemy as long as there's life. Now, let's see. Foxy, dear, you say I'm going as a nice normal peasant. There's nothing normal about you. You are a delightfully looking woman. And a delightful looking woman, and I'm sure you're enjoyable to look at other things, but I'm sure if you're dressed as a peasant, everyone will notice and will be delightful. Wolfie in a tux. Well, I can't blame you. He seems like a really good looking man, and that's what. Have fun. Don't take it too seriously. They will have booths and a smith but it's a small town. I don't know how much people will actually participate. One, hang out with the Smith. Smiths are awesome. I love Smiths. Watch what they do. Learn with your eyes. And if you can buy something, even if it's just a Smith nail, buy it from the Smith. And again, sorry about the shakes. It's actually a tremendous tribute to the quality of my medication that I can hold a camera without a tripod this steady. So that counts for something. It's just I have to be careful how I hold it. So you get a little shaky shake. Johnny Cage, wait, what's that? You've been thunderstruck. Yeah, basically. Because, I have the luck of an oddly cursed individual, and you're just catching the black shapes you're seeing behind me are a mix of my shadow, the cardboard, the cutouts I made for Halloween, and a glass door cabinet. Nothing paranormal. Although I do catch behind me like, oh, that looks spooky. Odd combo. Okay. Oh, Wolfie in a text. Yes, he has. Good evening. Ogre, my friend, it is a special evening. We've been nearly hit by lightning. Had my net go down, and I had to fall back to convincing my phone to talk to StreamYard, which then informed me I basically have a backup account I didn't know I had. But we are making it work through a handheld phone, and improvised. If ever there was a more historical fencing guild method to the problem, that's it. We're going to keep this. Let's see what else. Unhide. No, there we go. Sorry, we're making it work. I've been in a few buildings hit by lightning while I was in them. Yeah, folks like us, Foxy, we must have magnetic personalities. But sounds like that Mormon Wiccan I knew a few years ago. He was interesting. And I totally mean that in the Chinese, may you live in interesting times. Oddly enough, I have met some alternative practicing individuals who've combined their beliefs from Mormonism and other traditionally considered pagan beliefs. It's interesting to see, and I do enjoy seeing the logic people have when they come to their beliefs. The house is not shaking. My hand's just a little tired, but I can hold it for another 10 minutes or so. Hi, Silver. Hi, Johnny. Hello. How goes? Hi. Also, hi, anyone lurking. If Cindy Kep doesn't make it tonight, I think she's at a show, but I'm going to shamelessly plug their stuff at www.ckoepp.com. Please look that wonderful woman up. John Kedge says the highs are high and the lows are low. How about yourself? Well, I'll tell you that I am keeping it between the navigational buoys. And when things go wrong, I'm a firm believer in it doesn't do you a lot of good to whine and grumble. And you're getting just a little bit of I'm the dad holding the phone hand over the corner. So I'm trying to fix that. But yes, Foxy is, well, I'm home and in PJ's so comfy. And that's all you can ask for is a pair of comfy PJs, maybe some entertainment on the old boob tube. John Cage says, improvise, adapt, and overcome, and love your woman every day. Always love your significant other or others. I am infamous for not judging. That's not my job. I'd rather have folks be loving and in a relationship like that than be spiteful and in a supposed marriage. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that, but I tend to get real honest when I'm holding my phone. let's fix that again. Ogre says, I'll spare you the laundry list of lows. I'm going to pass out soon, but I miss the chat. We miss you, Ogre. And you know what? Just like every storm and every situation we go through, these little hassles, they will pass. And it will get better. And I will try to accidentally, while I'm holding this up, open up semi-classified pictures from my project with Luke Stone. But anyway. Oh. Turning the camera off might make it easier on your internet if you're having problems with that. I would, but I utterly despise my picture on that I have through StreamYard, and I need to update it. I also, because I don't know if that's the one with the dark picture of me, but I also think that people really get a kick out of seeing my reaction to adversity. They enjoy that when things go wrong, instead of just cutting the channel, I fight my way back and I do the silliness. And that's part of my dedication for my love for you guys. So let's see what's that. Tis his phone. It is my phone, and I'm doing the best I can. And I'm like I said, I'm sorry. Oh, it's being sponsored by an armored combat league upstate. There'll be a few hyped up dudes in plate beating the crud out of each other. Not sure how I feel about that. Watch and learn. That is a I don't want to participate in, or I don't like those personalities. Nothing wrong with that. That's still viable learning. But always give people the chance to surprise in a positive way, folks. Get it. And I'll see if I can do this because, actually still research. Here we are. I know he can make it just the avatar in his phone too. I'm thinking that, and maybe I think Johnny just wants me to become a VTuber. That's what Johnny wants. Johnny wants me to become Gizmo Glitch, the sentient trap gnome, and become a VTuber. And who knows? Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts and minds? Foxy giggles. He said poo. He said poo. Yeah, I just nicked Lexi upside down. Boob. Yes, he said boob. Here, look. Booby the squeezy square. It yet lives, and I use it every day, and I'm getting slowly stronger. Although you probably heard my hint. Let's see. Boop. Might bring some earplugs. Don't forget the likes. Embrace the chaos. Fighting it only works. Makes it worse. Worse or better. 50% of something beats the heck out of nothing. This is fine. Thank you. And like I said, I'm not one to give up. I'm too dang stubborn for that. If I didn't think I'd get sued because of all the properties, I'd show you guys my wall of cool that's directly behind me. But I'm certain that Marvel would probably sue me, as might DC and Elvira and Doctor Who and Toho Studios and Warner Brothers. Of course, they'd sue me for having a picture of Kosh up. So, even though it is an autographed one. And yeah, moving on. Based on their YouTube channel, I don't see much combat happening, but I still... Oh, sorry. Blink. Thesis says, based on their YouTube channel, I don't see much combat happening, but I still plan on watching. Hey, you know what? There's always a chance. And if you approach a group earnestly, and I'm going to do that because it cuts off my face. If you approach a group earnestly, you will find that a lot of times folks are really cooler than they could be. And if they're dicks, all you have to do is say, you know what, this is not my jam, and walk away. Like I said, love, earplugs for the noise. Yes. This is what Quadracurus of the grandpa looks like. Okay, wait. Johnny, how, by what genetics do you think I'm grandparent to a shark girl? Because I mean, there's another line of weirdness that isolates me because I'm kind of curious. So that's not her. That's not the shark girl. That's the mouse, isn't it? Can't remember. Don't mess with the mouse. Yeah, don't mess with. Oh, Disney. Yeah. No, Parker. Yeah, I can say. I'll be honest. The YouTuber I like best is Honey Goblin. I think she's delightful, and I didn't plan to get into that whole scene, but I stumbled onto it, and I'm like, oh, this is just a happy little goblin girl doing art and singing. Okay, cool. My son likes her. Yay. Um, I'm all about whole. That should surprise everybody. But okay, let's get back into the conversation for the next at least 2 minutes, and I got to make up for some of the lost time out for you kind folks who actually stuck around, because you're too awesome for words. You know, I was just talking to Thesis about that organization. Tell me, it's not my granddaughter. I don't speak family secrets in public. You know that. No, watch for bullshito in sword-based art. If somebody comes up to you and they're like, "This is the only way to fight. If you don't, you are a sissy, a failure, a liar, not historically accurate, and thus have no value. A wire weenie, a stick jock." Anybody who immediately demeans whatever you do without giving any really good reason, if anything, they're rude. And if not, they're using an adversarial method. I believe, and that's part of why the Historical Fencing Guild was founded, that anyone of any Western discipline should be able to talk to anyone else of martial discipline, not Western. Sorry, I don't want my bias to show that heavily, but because I don't believe it that heavily. Okay, let's see. I see your accurate and raise you my boob plate design. I have seen fairly functional boob plate that was necessary because there was no amount of squishing that was going to get this lady's um, chesticles contained in a dome. It just wasn't going to work. But it has to be done carefully. Historically possible is my preference. I have studied a lot of historical manuals and I've studied them from a lot of cultures, and I believe in the fat guy at the buffet method. I go through and I study and I take the parts that either look really good to everybody or, hit my specific taste, and then I throw them on my plate and I'm good and I disregard the rest. I do encourage others, once you've established at least one style, that you feel you understand, approach the others that way. I've only met, let me fix this because I am working on a relatively tiny screen. I've only met a few guys who were into armored combat, and most of them were jerks who dismissed anything that wasn't their style. This is what real combat looks like. Blah blah blah. Okay. Watch that. And there are some people who could say, if Doug says this is what real combat looks like, I will absolutely defer to him in just about everything. Why? Because he's a veteran who has used knives in mortal, real world, make people dead so you and yours are safe combat. You want what real combat's like? Talk to real vets who've really done it. That's where the practical side of what we do is. Oh wow! my wow, we're starting to get blackouts on my phone now, so I probably will be calling this pretty soon. Fantasy movie armor for the win, Johnny. I prefer armor that covers women enough to keep them safe. I work with a lot of sword women, is a sword ladies that Shivyesas. A lot of people carry different titles. I respect them as such, though I can see the aesthetic appeal of that too, because it is fantasy and silliness. Don't confuse this is fun with this is practical. If you can make something do both, go. But oh, let's see. Boom. Maybe. Boom. Okay, there we are. Not as bad as before, but still double Ds are not easy to contain. Yes. Without violating any doxing, my wife is significantly higher in the alphabet than that, and that is a challenge. And I've worked with several women who are. Now, I've seen some really neat molded hardened leather that wasn't individually cupped, but did provide rigid protection, combined with a gambeson. Why are people wearing gambesons under their armor? Chainmail pinches people, and still you can get short pokes through if something's narrow. So let's keep gambesons and padding under our armor. Oh, so Roger says, I miss Kitty. Sorry. Good evening, Kitty. Good evening, Ogre. So roboted for a second there. Yes, I'm trying to make this go, and I will be calling it very soon. Stay safe tonight if you need to cut it. I probably will shortly. And she started out AKK before the reduction. Well, I'm sorry you had to go through surgery to find physical comfort and balance and stuff. It's never easy. And I understand that there's always an emotional side loss to that. I've dealt with several female friends have had to have reductions, and several have had to have mastectomies due to breast cancer. I've also some relatives who I won't share their story because it's not my story to share. But I'm glad you're doing well and you're moving forward and you're happy. And Foxy says totally worth it. So I'm glad to hear that. But I am prone to being supportive. I've gone a little over an hour. Right now, my hand is propped on my drink bottle to try to keep this camera somewhat steady. But oh, and she'd do it again in a heartbeat. That's good to know. Whoops, sorry. Folks, this has been real, and thank you so much for sticking around. My mainline internet is still down. I'd really hoped it would pop back up. So, next month it will be a year and a half ago. Everyone stay healthy as possible, all that. All right, folks. So we didn't get where I thought we were going to go with the sets of conversation, but I think the amusement factor brought it back up. So forgive my sub-quality camera work. I will fix something as a backup so that this doesn't happen again if this ever has to happen again. I'm actually very pleased because this means I can at least do the show if I'm ever not home because of something. And I might be able to even live stream the show from a practice, which could be really interesting if things work out. So later this month, the 12th of this month, will be 18 months. We're trying something. Okay. So, guys, I am going to cut it here just because it is miraculous I've made it last this long. And I see
well, a whole lot of uglier weather moving in. So, until I can fix that, guys, do your drills. Next week's going to be beautiful, at least where I am. A lot of things. If as Foxy says, don't forget to like before you go. Do your drilling. Keep your guard up. Be kind to yourself and each other. And folks, as always, I can't do my little gesture, but thank you for supporting your local swordmaster. I will see you again no later than next week, hopefully under better circumstances. Toodles, folks.